I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, every time around this time of year in the spring, I always do a video blog, a quick video blog on preparing your house for sale. We're heading into the busiest time of year for real estate, the spring market. I think this spring is going to be, as I've been saying for 6 months now, pretty strong market. I know from my business and my team, this is shaping up to be probably one of the most active spring markets I've had in probably 8 or 9, 10 years. As far as the number of listings I'm going to be putting out, I've already got a lot of listings now, but coming up in March, April, and May, I think I've probably got 15 to 20 homes in the queue that we're in various stages of getting ready to list. In some cases, we're waiting for the tenant to vacate in a number of those, or we're negotiating mutual agreements to end tenancy. In some cases, we're doing some minor renovations or touch-ups to get the home ready, decluttering and that kind of thing. So let me just give you quickly here some of the things. If you're getting ready to sell a home this spring, some things that will get you the top selling price, which is what everybody wants. You know, what I want the most money I can get for the home. That's my job to help you guys with that. So here's my checklist here of things that will help you get the top dollar for your home and sell it in a quicker sale as well. Biggest one, I've done 25, 30 blogs on it. If you're looking to sell a home that is currently tenanted, you've got to get the tenant out. For your own legal liabilities alone, should right there want to get the tenant out. But you're trying to sell a tenanted property right now. If you've got two units side by side in the same strata, if you're tenanted and the other one is vacant or owner occupied, I would say on a typical one bed priced at $700K, you're leaving $20,000, maybe a bit more, $25K on the market, on the table on your final selling price. The reason for that is a number of things. A, with a tenant in there, the home is not going to show very well. I don't care. The odd time I'll see a tenant in a luxury unit, so where the tenant's paying $10,000 or $15,000 a month, travels a lot usually anyways, that the home is presentable. But for the most cases, in the 1 and 2 bedrooms, tenant occupied, they're usually messy, dirty, lots of clutter, not very well decorated. You've now got to work with the tenant to work on showing schedules and everything else. You're eliminating the investor buyer. If it's a 1 bedroom, they still make up a lot of potential buyers. As a matter of fact, there's a surge now again in investors coming into the market. I'll do a blog on that soon. It's setting up to be a pretty nice market right now if you're an investor. Interest rates have been coming down. Rents are at all-time highs. Some landlords have exited the business, so vacancy is near zero. It's a pretty good setup. But you know, you're losing that investor buyer because A, they don't want to assume your tenant. And usually, in almost all cases, especially if the tenant's been in there more than a couple of years, they are paying $500, $600, $700, $800 below market rent. So that new investor is not interested because they can't raise the rent up to market rent. So just for the showing factor alone, that's it. The other thing is, I tell you guys, selling a tenanted property, even if you do everything right, Mr. Seller, you file the proper paperwork, that new buyer is going to move into it, you fill the declarations out saying that they're going to be moving in and give the tenant 3 clear months notice, plus 1 month's compensation rent. We've got an epidemic right now of tenants that are not leaving on completion day or possession day. The new owner shows up with the moving truck and the tenant's barricaded himself in the unit, won't leave. The reason for that is because vacancy is near zero. They can't find a place, and they call the tribunal, a residential tenancy branch, and they say, well, you can dispute it, which is great. Buys you another 3 or 4 months before you get a hearing. Well, now, Mr. Seller, you're going to be sued for breach of contract. You could be looking at tens of thousands of dollars in damages. Go back and watch my blogs on what's going on right now with tenants not leaving even after the home has been sold and all the paperwork has been filed properly. So getting your tenant out is the biggest thing right there. Just on a simple 1 bed, you're leaving $20 to $25K on the table in your final selling price. That's a lot of money. Second thing here, when you hire someone like me, I'm going to come out and have a look at the home. So there's a lot of little things that we can do to make a home more presentable to get you a better price. One of the biggest ones is just simply cleaning up, doing a deep cleaning, decluttering, putting some stuff into storage. So it's going to cost you virtually nothing. Some time to clean, do a deep clean. So cleaning all the appliances, the oven, the counters, the cupboards. Just some time. Decluttering, a lot of times I'll have a seller, if they've got a lot of stuff, they've been in the house for quite a while, just rent a $250 a month storage locker and put 20% of your stuff into storage and declutter. That alone, just the cleaning and decluttering, can add another $10,000 to $15,000 on a simple one bed. So in other words, if you've got two one beds side by side in the same strata at $700K, one is a mess, boxes piled up, toilet sinks filthy, tubs got all black around the tub, shower glass hasn't been cleaned in 2 years. They're out there, I see them all the time. And you've got another unit, the same unit, that has been deep cleaned, smells fantastic. Kitchen and bathroom smells like a lemon grove. Glass is all clean, the mirrors are clean, the furniture is nice, everything is in its place, nicely decorated. That's $15K right there added to you, and it's cost you virtually nothing. Maybe 2 or 3 days to do the cleaning, another day and a half or 2 days to declutter. That's $15,000 in your pocket. If it's your principal residence, that's $15,000 tax-free. So that's like earning $25,000 at your job. You tell me if that's not worth just a little bit of effort to get it there. It is. But I am amazed at how many homes I look at, owner-occupied, that the realtor has not coached the seller on any of this stuff. You walk in, it's a mess, shoes everywhere, dirty dishes in the sink, glass is mirrors are stained. It's unbelievable. I don't think most people realize what you're doing there with the presentation and how much money you're leaving on the table. Because buyers, in a lot of cases, some can if they're coached by their realtor, but a lot of buyers cannot look through a lot of this superficial stuff. And especially if most buyers are going to be on a tour, they're looking at your home and 2 or 3 others or 4 others, or who knows how long they've been in the market looking at other units like yours. And they have definitely looked at some units that have done it right. Perfectly furnished, clean, mint, ready to move in. That's what sticks in their mind. When they see something that's a mess, even if overall the unit and strata is pretty good, it immediately gets discounted. And I can tell you that cleaning, which costs virtually nothing in decluttering, let's call it $500 total, again, they are going to knock off 10 times that much off their offer price. The other thing that I often coach my selling clients on, and one of the ways where you can get 150 cents to 200 cents back on every dollar, $2 back for every dollar spent, is on paint. Now, paint can be a little work, it's not that much work, but oftentimes I might have my clients, if the paint is really bad in some of the rooms, bedrooms, there's lots of tack marks or drill marks where things have been hung, painting can go a long way. It's one of the few areas that I tell people to spend a little bit of money, and it's not that much, and a little bit of time. For every dollar you spend, I'll get back $1.50 or $2 back on paint. Especially sometimes when I'll go into a home where maybe 10 or 12 years ago or 15 years ago was painted, darker colors were in back then. Some dark blues or a pink or, different color was much more prominent, especially darker colors, taupes and browns 10, 12, 15 years ago. So oftentimes, just by doing a nice coat of Benjamin Moore, there's different tones of white paint, I should tell you guys. I think we use a lot of Benjamin Moore Cloud White, which isn't a sterile, really bright white. It has a little tinge of gray in it. It's a nice neutral color, still nice and bright, but not overly bright or sterile looking. So oftentimes I'll have my clients paint a couple of bedrooms, or in some cases, if it's a one bed, and it hasn't been painted in 10 years, spend $2,500, $3,000, and paint the unit. That $3,000 spent, I'll probably get you back $5K on your selling price. It'll show better and it'll sell quicker. The other things I'll get my clients to do is just minor little repairs, things that are broken, tap sets, perhaps caulking around the tub or shower. That pretty much always gets picked up on home inspections. They'll run a moisture probe there. The caulking and the sealant around the tubs and showers hasn't been done. You're supposed to do those things every year or two. Very few people do, including myself. So, but you're supposed to, bead some silicone along there every couple of years so that water doesn't get in along the frame there. So things like that, maybe changing out a couple of old light fixtures and things like that. Those will add value, very little money spent, and will sell quicker and for a better price. After that, I'll get sometimes sellers that'll say, maybe I should renovate a bathroom or renovate the kitchen, or do something more major renovation work. I usually tell my sellers not to do that. First off, it's time consuming, takes a lot of time. We're not going to get back, a dollar for a dollar. As a matter of fact, doing a bathroom reno, if we can get back 60 or 70 cents on the dollar, every dollar spent, we'd be doing pretty well. I would say just clean it up, have it looking good as it can get. Let the new buyer determine what they want to do. If the bathroom is in need of a reno, we'll pad it into the price, let the new buyer do that. And then especially these days, renos have really skyrocketed the last 6 or 7 years now. To do a basic reno that might have, on a one bedroom, one bath, simple bathroom might have been $20K 7 or 8 years ago. Now you're looking at $45K. So I would just leave it. The only other area that we might do would be some flooring. If the floor is really beat up, in some situations, maybe put down a new flooring. We can usually get back, a dollar for every dollar spent, but it's tough. Painting, cleaning, decluttering, fixing any minor little things, that's usually all we do. And that will get you the best selling price. That will sell it in a quicker time frame. And then, of course, the last thing is getting that tenant out. That's the big one. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.